Hey guys, this is Mobley here coming at you with another mental health video. So if you like content like this, please feel free to like this video and subscribe. I plan to share more mental health information as well as resources here in the near future. I'm about to go on vacation, but I plan to have some more videos out whenever I return. I know it's been a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure I got this I release this by the time I go on vacation, or before I go on vacation. So today I am actually talking about Adderall. So I know the first thing I always heard whenever I had first known about Adderall, or for like the longest time before I was diagnosed with ADHD, I just always saw it as like a bad thing or like a drug or something like that, which it is a drug, but something like just really terrible, because that's just the reputation it had. I had friends who took Adderall that didn't have ADHD, and I never experimented with anything like that. So whenever I was prescribed Adderall, I was like caught off guard a little bit, but it made sense, and I'll explain a little more of that here in just a second. So Adderall is a stimulant that is used to treat ADHD, or attention deficit and hypertensive disorder. I hope I didn't say that wrong. I have the inattentive type of ADHD. I'm not necessarily a hyper person or anything like that, so that's why I mainly focus on like ADD, if you will. And Adderall is the most common drug prescribed for ADHD. It has several different types of dosages, and I'll explain a little more about like my experience with that here in just a second as well. But it is known to really help with ADHD in terms of helping people focus and stay alert, stay awake. And I think that's why a lot of people that don't have ADHD take it. They take it to stay awake for a project, or write a paper, or stay up all night, or go to work, or whatever. So that's just kind of the reputation it has, and I think that is why it is a controlled substance. We have experienced some shortages in certain dosages of Adderall. However, I think that has kind of subsided, because I have not had an issue getting my prescriptions lately. But let me know down in the comments, have you had any issues getting yours, or have you heard of this, anything like that, because I would love to be updated on that information. But as far as my personal ADHD story goes, I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I can actually have another video on this later where I maybe go more in depth. But I found out from my sister that she was diagnosed with ADHD when she was 29. And I also had a brother who was diagnosed at a younger age. He was, I believe, 11. And so once I heard like the things that they had experienced and their symptoms, I was like, I do a lot of that too, or I have experienced a lot of that as well. So I was very interested in being tested or seeing a psychiatrist to maybe learn more information and seek help and see what is going on in my brain. So I already have depression and anxiety. Let's add something else to it. But I'm just kidding. But I guess as I was growing up, I experienced like just kind of like slowness with like learning in school. I was in more like developmental courses sometimes, because I didn't grasp things as quickly as other students. Sometimes I felt very stupid because I didn't understand something, and other students would be like, it's easy, and I'm like, but I don't get it, like I'm not grasping this. And also I used to be in the performing arts when I was younger, and it would take me longer to learn my lines, memorize my lines for stuff like that. Definitely memorize choreography. I know choreographers would have to go over the choreography like several times before I really understood what they were saying or doing, and like remembered it. In terms of my adult life, I know like everyone does this, but you know, when I'm home working, I tend to like, I'll get distracted and look at something on my phone, and then before I know it, I've been on my phone for like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get back to work. So that's another thing, as well as I used to interrupt people a lot, or I maybe still do sometimes. I really try to catch myself, but if we're talking about something, I will like interrupt someone and be like, just abruptly be like, oh my gosh, I know, I did that too, or you know, just as an example. And I know a lot of this my mom does too, so she was never diagnosed or anything like that, because when she was growing up, it wasn't really a thing, especially for women and girls. So just reading all of this and knowing that, I also was like, I had like really bad impulsiveness, just doing like things without thinking and stuff like that. It was like, I really thought about it one day, once I was diagnosed. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why I do this. So I really wanted to seek help and maybe see what was going on. So I went to a psychiatrist, and over a couple of appointments, we eventually, I took a cognitive exam, and it took about an hour and a half, and I was luckily able to take it from home, but it was, I believe, timed. So, the results came back, and I was indicative of ADHD. So essentially diagnosed with ADHD when I was 30. I'm 31, so this was just last year. And the psychiatrist, asked like, would you like to try Adderall? It is the most common medication for ADHD. And I was like, sure, yeah, let's see how it goes. I guess I'll talk about some side effects, and then explain like how it's helped, and why I still am on it and like it. In terms of side effects, I know day one I had a headache. I had headaches for maybe like a week. Also within the first week, it kind of had like antidepressant side effects, specifically like sexual side effects. I did not have any sort of like urge or excitement, anything like that in that area, and so that was kind of concerning. But after about a week, that seemed to go away, and the biggest and most known side effect, I think, is loss of appetite and weight loss. So I am generally a thinner person, just by nature, I believe, or genes or whatever. I do take care of myself. I try to eat right, eat a balanced, healthy, lifestyle. And I do work out regularly. If I don't work out every day, I work out 4 to 5 days a week for sure. I try to get my steps in every day, something like that. But in my mind, I maybe needed to lose a little bit, but that was just kind of a self-conscious personal thing. But that's just something I really noticed. So when I first took it, I was on 5 milligrams, and I lost my appetite. I did not eat much at all. And when I did, I got, full so quickly. So I know one day I was like, I need to eat something. I haven't eaten all day. And I went to eat, and like I wasn't hungry whatsoever, but I was like forcing myself to eat, and it was just really weird and like not like miserable, but it just felt very off, and I didn't like the feeling. But I was like, okay, let me keep trying this. So I went from 5 to 10 to 15 milligrams and then to 20. So it seemed like every month I kind of went up a milligram, and the cap, or the highest you can go is 20. So I now take 20 milligrams twice a day. Sometimes I will skip a dose. You're luckily able to do that with Adderall. I don't think you should stop taking it like abruptly altogether, but you can skip a dose. Like if you just don't want to take it, this, you know, I take it every morning for sure. It like kind of wakes me up as well as like gets me focused for the day. I don't really get easily distracted. I keep a checklist every day of things I need to do, and I generally check all of those things off every single day. I mean, I don't check things off, but I know I cross things out, and I take a lot of pride in that, honestly. And I did that before I was prescribed, but I feel like I just use it more, and I'm a little more focused on it now than I used to be before I was prescribed Adderall. So in general, I stay more focused on like my work and tasks. If I'm having a conversation with someone, I don't like zone out or get like distracted by something else. I am like I know like neurodivergent people like are really sensitive to certain things, and I'm like really sensitive to if I'm in a loud restaurant or a loud area and I'm trying to like have a conversation or eat or something like that, I won't even like talk. Like you know, I know one time we went to a pizza place and it was just so loud in this room. We could barely even hear each other. And my husband, I was really quiet. My husband could tell, like, he was like, "This is bothering you, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yes, like, this is really annoying. I kind of just want to eat and leave because I can't even hear myself think." I know people say that all the time, but it was literally that feeling. So it was so annoying. But I know other neurodivergent people feel that as well. Another thing, so with my work, I work from home and I'm on, you know, a computer all day pretty much. And we use Microsoft Teams. And whenever someone messages you on Microsoft Teams, there's like a loud bing, like bing. And over time, I was like, this is so distracting, so annoying. So every single day, I put myself on Do Not Disturb. And that just means I don't get those notifications. Like, it'll show up kind of like on your phone when your phone's on Do Not Disturb. If you open your phone, it'll tell you, like, you have a new text message, like the flag or whatever. You have a new text message or a new notification. It'll have, like, the red flag. I have an iPhone, but so that's what I see. But so I could see that someone messaged me, but I wasn't getting those messages constantly. And I also do that with my phone a lot too, especially if I am watching a movie or while I'm working or something that I really want to be focused on. I don't want any kind of distraction, which I know like non-neurodivergent people might do that too. But I've noticed like if I don't do that, I'm going to want to look at whatever notification or whatever like immediately. I know at concerts now I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I just, you know, I want to have a good time. I want to take in the energy and just have no distraction. So those are just some things that I've noticed over the last year. I was diagnosed in April of 2024. We're now in April of 2025. So in terms of weight loss, I have lost, like over the course of a year, I have lost at the most about 20 pounds. And I'm still within a good BMI, a healthy BMI. My blood pressure is still really good. I'm treated for high blood pressure. And my doctor was a little concerned because in 6 months I lost 10 pounds. And he was very concerned and like kind of wondered why. And I was like, I think it's just the medication, and I don't have as much of an appetite. I really try not to skip meals or anything like that, eat a balanced diet, but I really do think it's just the medication. And I don't think I've talked about this yet. Maybe I don't remember. But I have been on Lexapro for 3 months, and some antidepressants or SSRIs can cause weight gain. So I think, in my opinion, a mix of gaining some muscle, because I do work out pretty much every day, and maybe also the Lexapro, I've gained just a few more pounds back, at the most, maybe like 7 or 8, but I don't see that as a bad thing. So just keep that in mind. I am now at a comfortable weight where I kind of just want to stay where I am and, keep working on myself, working on my body, taking care of my body, drinking lots of water. And, that's hopefully would be all I need to do to maintain the way I want to look, the way I want to feel. In terms of my appetite, I do have more of an appetite than when I first started Adderall, but I absolutely do not have the appetite I had before I was on it. I know for lunch, a lot of times, I will just have like some yogurt and an apple with peanut butter. I know peanut butter isn't like super healthy, but I love apples with peanut butter. That's just like one of my favorite snacks or whatever. And maybe like some string cheese or something like that. Relatively low carb, relatively healthy, low calorie, and that will fill me up until I want to eat dinner. I typically don't eat breakfast. On the weekends, I might make some cereal. We might go for like brunch or something like that, but I don't really eat breakfast throughout the week. I do drink coffee, but it's usually just like no more than 20 ounces a day. And for dinner, through the week, I try to keep like a very balanced diet. Jeremy and I are both kind of on a low carb, low calorie diet, and I try to, make nice dinners according to that diet plan. And if we go out to eat or something, I was getting a lot of kids' meals, which I do still do that sometimes, depending on the restaurant. But I'll just get like a smaller meal, or a lot of times Jeremy and I will split something. I do also think your body just kind of adjusts to eating less once you've been eating less for so long. And I think that's what my body has been doing. So I'm just used to eating less, so I just don't eat as much as I used to. But overall, I plan to stay on the Adderall because it has really, really helped me. Also, in terms of my impulsivity, I'm not nearly as impulsive as I used to be. I've never really been like an impulsive shopper or anything like that. In terms of spending a lot of money, maybe if I see something and, if it's like, do I really need this or whatever, and it's like $5, I know $5 is $5, but it's really helped with like my decision making and choices and stuff like that. It's it's kind of like made our marriage better in a way too, because we're just like really good communicators and open with each other. So that's really, really nice. That's just my personal experience. But overall, it's been really, really great. I plan to stay on Adderall as long as I can, I guess. I know people have been on it for many, many years, and it just helped them a ton. So if you have been on Adderall or any type of stimulant or ADHD medication, I would love to hear your story and your what you maybe take, and maybe your experience with Adderall if you have taken Adderall. If you like content like this, I would love it if you like this video and subscribe, because I plan on releasing more videos like this. And if you have suggestions or anything like that for videos in the future related to things I've talked about, I would love to hear in the comments below. But thank you so much. I would love it again if you like this video and subscribe. And thank you all. I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.